Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion of Korach is a famous one that involves a challenge to Moses' leadership and ultimately one that is decided by God swallowing up all of those would-be rebels and further cementing Moses and Aaron's leadership over the community. It's a well-trodden text and one where we can find certainly a lot of parables and parallels today. But something I want to call attention to in this brief moment is the connection that a challenge to leadership, a rebellion, some kind of kerfuffle in the ranks of Israel is so closely connected to the previous week's Torah portion that involved the very fact that the anticipated entry into the land of Israel is going to be delayed by a series of decades. And it's an important move that our rabbis make in the Midrash to connect what happens in one Torah portion with what happens immediately previous in the prior one. And it's to remind ourselves that Korach and his band may have had some arguments to make about Moses. But it's really important to remember that those arguments take place in a context. The idea that out of a feeling of anger and disappointment and trouble over the fact that they would not be the ones to enter the land of Israel, all of their latent complaining, all of the things that they had repressed about Moses and Aaron's leadership thus far found its way to bubble to the surface. And it manifested itself in this challenge to Moses and Aaron's authority over the people of Israel. It's something to remind us that we may not agree with, we find ourselves on Team Moses against Team Korach, so we might not agree with what he has to say, but it is to say that maybe behind what challenge someone makes, whether that's a challenge in your life or an argument someone makes, that there's a reason behind it, that we should always be asking when we're confronted with something that we aren't expecting, why is this happening now? What's happening in a relationship in this person's life that is leading to whatever kind of disagreement is going on between these two people? That holds true whether it's between Korach and Moses and the people of Israel, or it might be happening in your life in some situation that you're thinking about. Why is this thing coming up right now? What is the cause of it? What's the context for why this moment is bubbling up to the surface? And hopefully, it's that context, in addition, that will help to find a path forward, a path that is one that promotes healing, that promotes further relationship, rather than allowing for the breach of relationship that we see in this week's Torah portion. Some thoughts to think about, and of Shabbat Shalom.